to understand from where to start. Many times it happens that, okay, you from now onwards, you only for 2 minutes you can unmute and you can speak also. Let us have some interaction. From where you are supposed to start the research. Some people may say, okay, you select the title, go with the introduction, go with the review of literature, write the research design part or research framework part, and followed by you follow with the analysis and conclusion part, reference system and all. But some of the right way to do the research, which we can say, it starts from the review of literature. Okay, is there any scientist available here? I really doubt about it. Okay, what happens basically is that, okay, what happens basically is that we all are not the scientist, we all are human beings. Okay, each and every time we may not get the new ideas. If that is the case, we may publish our papers as a patent itself. Okay, so what exactly happens here is that what things what we are going to consider basically is, first we are going to have our theoretical perspective. Okay, like already the existing literatures, existing information on any topic is already available. I request participants please not to unmute. Okay, it will be a disturbance for the others also. So first thing what you need to do is that you have to find out the theoretical perspective. Okay, you need to understand what is the conceptual framework for that. Okay, and all these things will be available in the review of literature, because whichever the research paper you download, I can challenge you that you will get lot of inputs on that paper. But we researchers, what basically we do is that if we take the research paper, and I have seen literally that some of the people, what they will do, they will just read the abstract, and based on abstract they will write the review of literature. Totally wrong concept actually. Okay, now based upon somebody's abstract of paper, please never do review of literature. For doing the right way of doing the review of literature is get one good research article. Okay, now there is a different if you will go to the Google, you will be having lot of research paper actually. But while downloading, be like an Indian. We Indians are very good in downloading actually. Either is it required or not, that becomes secondary, right? So what is happening that we will download the paper just like that. Blindly we will download whatever the content anybody sends, we will download. First you download, if you are targeting for any good research article, I think on an average, generally we take up like 35 to 40 good research article, right? Out of, if you will download 50 research article, I can challenge you that finally, once you will be filtering the research papers, you will get to know that you can select only 10 to 15 out of those 50 downloaded papers. So that is one part which you need to understand. Okay, so always download more research papers. Once you have downloaded more research papers, you please do the filtration model. All 50 what you downloaded may not be relevant to what you wanted to do it. For that reason only, always do the segmentization. Divide your whole 50 papers in the different sections. Okay, and once you identified one specific topic, it may be related to gender based, it may be reference to some other things. Okay, so based upon that, a particular area or domain, please segmentize your paper. So what you downloaded, let us take 50 research articles. Out of 50, you will find only 10 to 15 are very close to what exactly you want to do it. Then what you do, among the 15 research paper, okay, you please try to find out how many have, from where these people have, from where exactly those papers have been published. Okay, is it in the conference, or is it in the any edited book, or is it in the ISSN refereed journals, or is it from the Scopus, or is it from the SAGE? Okay, so like this you have to identify basically from where exactly you have got this article. Okay, because source of data is very much important. Okay, and I think we all know that once I will give you the research paper outline, okay, maybe on the today's session as a last part. So then what you can do is that whenever you are selecting any paper for writing the review of literature, please check whether those content is available there or not. If it is not available, please never ever take those kind of papers. Okay, so it is very much important that select the right research article for doing the review of literature. Okay, now how to do the review of literature? So quite obviously, it is purely depending upon the type of research you want to do it. Like whether you are going for the quantitative research or whether you are going for the qualitative research. If I am going for the quantitative based research, quite obviously in your research framework, please never ever write any other kinds of research other than you can write as descriptive research, you can write it as casual research, you can write it as a survey or experimental or any even cross-section kind of research. When you talk about qualitative research, we have something like exploratory, where you are trying to identify something new. Okay, case study approach we have, ethnography we have, longitudinal we have. Okay, so before you start writing the review of literature, you understand what exactly the type of research you are going to do it. Okay, 99% for social science people and all, we always go for the descriptive research. Okay, we always go for the descriptive research. And if it is someone from the languages, I think they will always go for the qualitative research, because they will be going with the textual analysis and all those kind of stuffs. Okay, so while doing the review of literature, what you need to do is that first go through their go through the research gap of the particular author whose paper you are reviewing it. Okay, by reading the research gap, you will identify on what basis they have prepared that paper. After that, go with the objectives. Okay, after that, please go through their research design, what exactly the kind of research design they have created on, and again, what is the sample size they have selected. Okay, and what was the scope of area they have taken for their research. Okay, and these are the some of the basic things which you can and on what basis they have selected the sample, what type of technique they have used. Okay, then after that you can directly, rather than, and again in the data analysis, you can just have a look what type of testing models they have used. Okay, once it is done, you please go ahead with their conclusion part. Okay, you please go ahead with the conclusion part. In conclusion, you will get to know what exactly they have said and what exactly they have got it done. Okay, uh, after that, quite obviously, in most of the good research paper, there will be something like further scope or scope for further research. Okay, or limitations of this research paper. Those things are nothing but that is your opportunity to do the research on that area which existing or current researcher did not able to achieve. Limitations are what? Further research is what? It is all lacunas which I did not able to do it. If you will do it, quite obviously your research paper will carry more weightage. It will be more qualitative. Okay, so that is also one of the way through which you can look for the new topic or new area of research. Okay, so first thing, always start your research from the review of literature. Don't start from the introduction. And once you are going through this review of literature, please select similar kind of paper. Okay, please select the similar kind of papers. Okay, means it should be in the same domain. Like let us take for example, if I want to see where in whichever the companies, when I say about the board of members, I assume that if there are more females in the board of members of the company, I assume that financial performance of those companies will be better. Okay, I feel that financial performance of those companies will be better because it is understood that females will take more consistent kind of decisions. They will analyze a lot and then they are going to take the consistent kind of decision. So now these things I have to prove. So quite obviously, while searching the paper, if anything comes based on gender discrimination, I can reject that paper for my review of literature. I can take the research paper only with reference to female on board of directors board, okay, or anyone who is in the board of directors position or in the top level position. Okay, so such kind of research paper only I can take. I cannot take the research paper which are on the gender discrimination or on this any other grounds. Okay, so always select the area on which you want to do the research. Please be very specific about your articles part. Okay, so after that you can write your introduction part. After that, followed by, you please write your research framework, then followed by your data analysis part, and you can go ahead with the conclusions. And after that, actually you have to acknowledge the people who and all have helped you to do that research. Okay, it can be anyone, it is nothing to deal with that. And again, you have to write the reference management system, that is your so-called references model. Okay, coming back to this theoretical part. Okay, so as I said, always first decide what type of research paper you are going to write and what type of research you are going to write, select. So quite obviously you have two types of paper. One, we say it is purely on the conceptual paper. Okay, based upon the reviews of the paper, based on the different articles, you are going to write your own research paper. Okay, that is one area. Second is where you conduct some kind of testing model. Okay, where you conduct some kind of testing model and you try to prove with the hypothesis. You try to prove it with the hypothesis. Just like that, our general observations should not happen. Okay, just like that, our general observations will not be entertained. So it is always goes with the model of sample to population. It always goes with sample to population. So now for that reason, we always go with the hypothesis model. Okay, we are always going with the hypothesis model. So what I request all of you is always start everything. First, you decide what type of research you are going to do it. Once you do that, then you have to go with the scientific method. Okay, in scientific method, we have two things. One, we say it is inductive, another one we say it is a deductive. Okay, you can see on the slide also, scientific method, there are two types. One is inductive, another one is deductive. When you are going from sample to population, that is deductive. When you are going from population to sample, that is inductive. Okay, this review of literature will help you in the many ways. Okay, like finding the right theory also will be the best. Finding the right theory will also be the best way is review of literature. Many things are there which we may have not undergone, which we may have not read, which other people may have read, because we all have the different source of collecting our own input, our own data. Okay, with this review of literature will help you into finding the reality actually, and it will even help you in designing the conceptual definitions, and even it will help you to find out the different types of variables which can be considered for your research work. Okay, and based upon the variables, you will be going to frame your hypothesis. Okay, after review of literature, which is more important, we called as sampling. So as I said, on what basis are you selecting your sampling? Is it probability based or it is non-probability based? Okay, the people who are writing the research paper, you can use any technique, either probability or either non-probability. But if you are a research scholar and writing your thesis, always go with the probability, because what I'm seeing from the last 3-4 years, people are not accepting any kind of probability when it is a non-probability based sampling. Okay, so my humble request is, when you are going for writing research paper, it is totally left to you, either probability or non-probability model or technique. But when you are writing your thesis work, please select only probability model. Okay, next, there is something very important we called as hypothesis. There are two ways to frame the hypothesis. One, few will be preparing based upon the title of the research itself. Okay, and please, sometime somebody texted me and asked me, 1 second, very good question actually it is. Okay, some people have asked, how many objectives should we have in the objectives or in any research article? See, it is totally left to you how best you define your objectives. Okay, As far as general concerned, they never mind. Either you send one objective, 2, 3, or 4. But more than number of objectives will be there. It means that you are not clear about what exactly you want to do it. So have very simple title. For that simple title, whatever the objectives, either 1 or 2, I assume that 1 and 2 is more than enough for any good research article. Okay, don't go with the more than 3, 4, 5, 6 or something like that. Okay, so always go with the minimum. So hypothesis. Hypotheses are nothing but it is a kind of assumptions basically. Okay, it is a kind of assumptions, nothing else. Uh, Before you start the analysis work, you should have framed your hypothesis. Here we have a two types of hypothesis. We called as null hypothesis, and another one we say it is a, okay, how many hypotheses can be, just a second, how many hypotheses can be set with one objective? Very good question. I will just come back to you in this. Okay. So there is a two categories of the hypothesis. One is null hypothesis. We call it as H naught. And another one is alternative hypothesis. Okay, which we call it as H1. When I say null hypothesis, it means that there is no significance difference between the two variables. Okay, there is no significance difference or there is no association between. So these wordings what we are using now, it is depending upon the test actually. Okay, what type of test you are going to use. See, in our theoretical statistics part, we have a different types of test here. Like we have large sample, small test sample, F test, chi-square test, KW test, U test, Mann-Whitney U test, and like that the Voloxon test, which nowadays it has become a fashion for most of the people to use that. Okay, so please understand all these tests, this goes with the different characteristics, what type of data you have. Okay, whether your data is applicable for such kind of test or not, you need to check. You need to check your sample size. If your sample size is up to 30 or something like that, if anybody is preparing research paper on finance where their data is only up to 30 and all, they can go for that. Okay, so that is how it goes. Okay, and and if suppose your sample size, especially for the people who are doing in marketing, HR, IT, or data analytics part, they are quite obviously the data will be more than 30 as a sample. So quite obviously they will be going for the large sample test and all. So for each and every test we have got, again, whether it is based upon the specified mean, whether two sample we may have taken and we are going to compare it, so that comes under the two sample mean. So either it is small sample or either it is large sample, this will remain same. Only in the case of large sample, we have two more options. That is we called as one proportion and we called as two proportions. Okay, these are the very minute things which generally we go in the selecting the test model. Okay, so for time being, please understand that there is a two types of hypothesis. One we say it is null and another one we say it is a alternative. Null hypothesis means which never creates discrimination at all. Okay, for example, knowledge of speaker and the knowledge of participants, okay, both have similar quality. Both have similar quality. Means there is no differentiation. Brijesh knowledge is equivalent to participants knowledge. Equal to, okay, means research means resource person knowledge, that is Brijesh knowledge, is equivalent to participants knowledge. I think somebody, Veena ma'am, you want to say something? Okay, so Brijesh knowledge is equivalent to participants knowledge. Okay, so I am not at all creating any differentiation here, whether resource person knowledge is more or whether participants knowledge is more. Okay, when I don't create differentiation at all between two variables, between two people, okay, that time it is a null hypothesis. When I say alternative hypothesis, Brijesh knowledge is more than participants knowledge, or vice versa. Participants knowledge is more than Brijesh knowledge. So what is happening? I am giving more weightage to one variable rather than another variable. That time it will be a alternative hypothesis. Now I am going to tell you something very minor. Hypothesis. Okay, null hypothesis will remain always same. means there is no significance difference between the two variables. But in case of alternative hypothesis, you can see something like one tail and two tail. By God grace, we all human beings have got only one tail. But but this so-called um, but this so-called hypothesis having a two tail, we call it as one tail and two tail. Okay, when I use the word as equal to, not equal to, okay, see, you all are purchasing the 1 liter of mineral water. Okay, so Kenley company will obviously and all the companies, manufacturer of those companies will always say in this 1 liter of water bottle there is 1000 ml of water. Agreed? Okay, so I can say that whatever the manufacturer is claiming, it is right. That is my H naught, that is my null hypothesis. But do you really think with the moment, even though if suppose Nandini milk packet, if you will buy 1 liter of, do you think exactly it will be on the same? It may not be. Either 1 ml will be more, or maybe 1 ml may be less. Okay, either 1 ml may be less, or either 1 ml may be more. So it can be 1001, 1002 ml, means 1001, 1002, 1003 ml, or sometime it is possible 998 ml, 999 ml. Okay, 1 or 2 drops of milk extra or less is possible. Okay, so what I mean to say here is either you will get exact 1000 ml, that is my null hypothesis, or you may get more or less also, right? So the moment I say it is not 1000 ml, means the when I use the word here, okay, equal to, not equal to, it is two-tailed test. It is two-tailed test. When I dominate another factor, another variable by using some words like at least, at most, less than, more than, okay, minimum, maximum. Okay, at that point of time, all these things, at that point of time, all these, wherever these words which I have told you right now will become one tail test, will become one tail test. But all these things will come under the alternative hypothesis only. You will be writing the only one, either not equal to, or less than or more than symbol. Okay, so this is the one of the place where most of the researchers will find very much difficulty to write this hypothesis formulation part. Once you have done with that, you have to go with the sampling frame. You need to go with the sampling frame. In that, first thing you need to identify your population. First thing you need to identify your population. Again, there we have a two formulas. One, if your population is known, we have got it. If, one second. Okay, so if you have got a means population, two types. One in one is known population, another one is unknown population. Okay, known population is possible once you are taking the banking related or any kind of organized data set. That time it is a known population kind of data you are going to use it. Infinite population, where you don't know who and all the users are, so you need to always calculate the sample size based upon the formula. Just a second. Okay, so based upon the population nature, I can say, known or unknown, you need to apply the formula and you need to calculate the sample size. Just now somebody questioned me, sir, what should be the optimal sample size? Okay, yes, sir. Professor Divya has asked, what is optimum sample size? So there is no any optimum lucky number game kind of things in sample size. Okay, but you will see that most of the researchers, where they do mistake, and if you want to find out anybody's work as a real one or not, the best way is just attack on the sample size and ask them how they have fixed the sample size. Okay, so quite obviously this sample size is always depending upon the formula, and it cannot be determined by the lucky number that I have distributed the questionnaires and only 100 people I have got a response. So based on that, I am fixing my sample size as 100. That may not be right. Okay. Done. So this sample size is one, and quite obviously this measurement of scale you need to take care when you are going to enter the data, okay, in the SPSS or in Excel or in our software. Okay, so that point of time we should have a information about what is this different types of data we have. Then how exactly what kind of data you are going to select. So we are going to talk about the collection of data. When you say about the collection of data, here we have got it two source. One, it is all about secondary data, and another one we say it's a primary data. I request participants please not to unmute. Okay, Deepa ma'am. Okay, so now we have a two source through which we can collect the data. One is secondary data, another one we call it is a primary data. So secondary data is something like second-hand data. Okay, purchasing the second-hand vehicle, like something like secondary data, which is already available in the market and it is freely available. You can just make use of it and you can complete your research paper. From where you will get this data? That is, you can refer the journals, you can refer magazines, you can go for government website updates, you can go for bulletins, you can go for monograph, and you can even go for the websites. Okay, and there is another way we call it as primary based data, means the data which you are going to collect first time in the market, which you are going to collect first time in the market. Okay, so quite obviously here what will happen that here you have got a different types of set of things, like you have a questionnaire format. For this questionnaire, I think Google Drive will be one, Google form will be one of the best way to collect your data. Okay, best way to collect your data. Next one we have, that is the observation method. Also we have a observational method also. Okay, then you have something like focus group. Okay, what is this focus group? Is actually something like with whom you can have more confidence. Okay, any expertise kind of people. Okay, any expertise kind of person is there, you can just collect the data for them and they will refer you to the next person as well. Okay, then here again one more technique we have, that is we called as projective techniques. Okay, we call it as projective techniques. This projective techniques, what happens that it is an expert panel member. Okay, they will be giving some kind of inputs to you, like what exactly the data you can collect, whom and all you can approach for this data. Okay, then okay, so that is one of the other procedure to collect the data. Okay, then we generally go with the goodness of data, the data what we have got it, whether it is really good or not. Okay, at that point of time we generally go with the validity testing, we go with the reliability testing. Oh, just a second, some people have texted in the check box. Okay, so SABS 506 has asked the question, sir, please kindly show some lights on difference between universe and population and the procedure in sampling. Okay, so quite obviously, as I said, here you have to select the sample based upon the probability technique first. Okay, like whether you can go for the probability based or non-probability based. In probability, we have a simple random sampling, we have systematic sampling, we have statcraft, then we have cluster analysis, then we have okay, cluster and quota is also quota comes under the non-probability model. In non-probability, again, we have a judgmental, like based upon our judgment, based upon the convenience, based upon the snowball. Okay, so such kind of probability technique, you can make use of it and you can go for the sample part. Okay, somebody has asked about the methods triangulation is opted. Can I use the, for data collection, if methods triangulation is opted, can I use the same questionnaire for questionnaire survey and interview survey? You can, there is nothing wrong. Okay. Data triangulation, if I'm not wrong, it is deals with the different varieties of data sources which you collect basically. Okay. And quite obviously it is on in the terms of time or space or something like related to the person basically. Okay. For whom you want to do the study. Okay. So that is also fine. But here you need to go with the, for sure, you need to go with the validity and the reliability of the results, what you are going to get it. Okay. Then sir, objects I have framed. These kind of questions we will take up at last. Okay, let me complete the content first. Please, Veena ma'am. Okay. So next, we have to check the goodness of data. For that, you have to run the reliability test. You have to check your validity of the questionnaires what you have framed. This validity actually we created in the three formats. So one, is it a content-based validity or is it a construct-based? Okay, or it is based upon the criteria. Okay. Then quite obviously you may have applied, you may have used Excel, or you may have used your so-called SPSS or any other StatCraft analytics software. There are many softwares like that. Okay, with the help of those softwares, you will be running the test. Okay, but which test has to be applied, that you need to check before you apply for the test. Okay, then quite obviously here you will go with the different types of things there. Then you will, based upon the analysis, you are going to come for the suggestions. You are going to give your limitations, what and all you able to calculate, what and all you did not able to calculate, what was the demerits, I can say, or limitations of your research. Those things becomes the scope for new inquiry, scope for further research for a other new researcher to start with the research work. Okay, so this is how the whole 360-degree of RM comes. Like, it starts with type of research, it goes to scientific method or non-scientific method. In our case, it may generally not go for the scientific, it may go only for the non-scientific method. And quite obviously, then again, going ahead with the review of literature part, sampling part, measurement of scaling part. Then after that, you have to go with the collection of data, goodness of data, and data analysis and finding. Okay, so these are the major things which you need to consider when you are going for the research part. Okay, so this is how the whole model generally will be created. And these are the some of the things which you need to refer it. So quite obviously, once you identify the type of research, try to find out what type of research it is. It is a deductive or it is a inductive. Okay, based upon that, it will go for the probability sampling. And based upon the probability sampling, as I told, always try to go with the simple random sampling or any kind of probability based sampling rather than going for the non-probability based sampling. Okay, so in this, if anybody, I can understand it is not easy to take up all these things in one shot. It is a bit difficult. Okay, but there is who is this? Okay, but there is no other way. We have to complete the whole sessions also. So in this slide, if anybody have any kind, in this slide, if anybody has got any kind of doubt, I request them to just ask it by unmuting yourself, or else we will go ahead with the other part. Okay, so Harshini, 1 second. Just give 1 second. Now onwards, no one will be able to unmute yourself. Okay, so let me just take the questions, what and all everybody has asked as of now, so that we can go ahead with the next. Okay, so Dr. G. Bharti Madam says, I joined this FDP to learn and get good inputs in publishing the Scopus journals. I think last day and second last day, we have the speakers on that. I am from the applied science background and conducted a research study and submitted a thesis for my master degree. Very good. I joined this FDP to understand the methodology in social sciences. Okay, so here methodology is all about the research methodology part. Here we are talking about the starting with the sample size, how to select the sample size, on what basis are you setting the objectives. Okay, on that some inputs I am going to give it today itself. Then okay, lecture. How many hypotheses can be set with one objective? Okay, Let me give you example like this. Let us take, you want to find out, is there any with this demographic variables? Okay. So this demographic variable, when you will say, it can be age, it can be gender, it can be area, it can be many things. Okay. So when you'll talk about the demographic variables for any individual, here you can, let us take only age, income level, saving pattern, okay, number of family members available. All these things becomes the basic information related to demographic variable. In that, and you want to understand what is the investment pattern of any set of person, okay, maybe with reference to gender, maybe with reference to salary what they are getting, or even if suppose same salary but the saving amount will be different, okay. So based upon that, so now your demography, your objective will be to examine the demographic variables with reference to any gender, you with reference to investment pattern of a individual, okay. Now what you will try to do, this is only a one objective you have set, but in this there are so many things will come. See, age can be a demographic variable, gender can be the demographic variable, okay, income level can be one of the demographic variable. So what is happening that, and even the state or the place geographically if you can take, so you will have so many variables there. Now what is possible from your end to, again, the respondent should give you the input also, no, they should give you the output, for they should fill your questionnaires also. So at the same time you need to check, okay, whether really what the variables, what the objectives you are framing, as per that you can always fix your hypothesis, okay. Proving wise, if you are, let us take, while proving the hypothesis, one time you are taking that age with investment pattern, second variable, second thing you are taking as income and this one investment pattern. So what I try to say here is that you will be proving many hypotheses, okay, but as a primary source you have fixed only one hypothesis, okay. And can we give hypothesis for every objective framed? Depend upon the objective. If let us take some people, you may have seen, they fix the objective only for understanding model. So any theoretical concept, we cannot fix the hypothesis. Hypothesis is possible wherever variables are there. Okay. Divya madam asked, what is the optimum sample size? As I said, madam, there is no any optimum size and all. It is what I have seen, but if your sample size is more than 5 lakhs, okay, your sample size will be approximately 600 to 700 in between. I will just give me some days, maybe in 2 or 3 days, I will be sharing one file with the organizers. So you will be able to, there I may have shared one of the research article, which is universally accepted. So whenever you are presenting your thesis work or whenever you are presenting your research paper, you can keep that paper as a benchmark, okay. You all may be surprised to know there are more than 1 lakh citations for that research article, okay, because that paper was there from the mathematics department, like how to fix the sample, and what the author has done. If your population is this much, this is the sample size, and that is actually proved with the formulas only, equation based formulas, so that is acceptable, okay. So I will share that file, you all can refer it, and according to that I request them, everyone, to just go ahead with that. Then Professor okay. Then Professor Rajeshwari Madam has asked, sir, objectives I have framed. Factors influencing quality. Okay, factors of quality. Whether it is right, sir, I use factors differently. Okay, but bit clarity I need. How the sample size can be determined? So it is always based upon the formula. Difference between population and universe. See, please understand, when you talk about the population and universe, it is always depend upon the area of scope what you are considering it, okay. Generally we always define population and sample size rather than universe, because population is something like total, the mass, okay, and sample is something like selected part, means based upon our reachability, based upon our judgmental model, okay. Why we reject Mr. Raghavan Srinivasan? Why we reject null hypothesis taking into account less than 3 with the calculated value of comparison without any reference? Okay. Nowadays, it is a custom that hardly I can see that is there any research article where your H0 will be accepted, because people are see, any research what you do, there should be some impact. So once we say it is an impact, it always comes with the alternative hypothesis. So most of the cases, if you prove that H0 is accepted, means your null hypothesis accepted, it means there was no need for this kind of research. That is the reason before even we start our research, basically we want our H0 to be rejected. Okay, so as a result, most of the research papers or thesis work, it ends up with accepting the alternative hypothesis. Okay, then difference between same thing I have cleared. How the sample size can be determined, it is purely based upon the formula. Okay, formula of n. Then methods, triangulation we have already discussed. Then see, as I said about the journals for management and all, there are more than 5,000 journals in management where you need not to pay any money and all, and you can publish your paper in the Scopus or Sage. For more population, which formula to be used? That is, the formula is we called as is equal to Z multiplication of the standard deviation by error value and square of it. Okay, so that is for the infinite population we generally use. Is math okay? Kavita madam has asked, is methods and methodology same for research articles and PhD thesis? Both are different, depends upon the journal, what and all they are going to follow and what kind of customs they are going to follow. PhD thesis, it is differs from the university to university. And how to choose the formula for sample size determination, which is already given in the slide. Please share your video over email, that organizers will take care. What statistical method you suggest for variables with more than 3 groups? Here, what do you mean by statistical method? Means what exactly you want here? Then Professor Shah, should topic selection for PhD research should be based on data available or new concept? Topic selection for PhD research. Okay. See, my personal opinion is, don't go and try with the something new topic for which review of literature is not available. Always select always select the area of research where only some kind of review of literatures are available. Okay, that is always good, rather than jumping in the new topic that may not work out. So better is always go with the selecting the topic for which review of literature is available. Okay, otherwise what will happen, over a period of time the value of that particular topic will become obsolete. Okay, so please do not do it. Then after that, what? No, I have shared only one screen as of now. I have not yet went to the other reason. So that is the reason in one slide only I have tried to cover everything. What statistical method do you suggest for variables with more than 3 groups? Like ANOVA, for the, when if you, okay, in this way. So you basically want to know which statistical test you want to apply. At that point of time, you always go for MANOVA. That is one of the best one. Okay. Sir, can conceptual model be done for all research? Absolutely, yes, you can. There is no issues about it. Okay. So any other questions which I have not answered it, you can ask me in 1 minute. Otherwise, I'll be going with my another slide. Okay. So okay. So now give me 1 second of time. Okay. I will do one thing. I will be sharing one of the content with the organizers on what type of test is applied, you can apply at which point of time. Okay. So that slide will help you out for your analysis part. Okay. Okay. So going ahead, Okay. Inductive and deductive. So as I said, inductive is going from sample to population and deductive is going from population to sample. Okay. Till here, anybody has got any doubt, you can ask. And I request participants to sit with the pen and paper if you want, so that you will get, you can make a note of it. Okay. What exactly the kind of things and all you need to do it when you are doing the started writing the research paper. Okay. So now let me start the second part of today's session. And here onwards, wherever you get the doubt, you can please stop me and you can ask me. Okay. Okay. So now going forward, now I think I'll be able to answer more of the things what you wanted to write in the research paper. Okay. One is how exactly your title should be. How exactly your title should be. Now I request participant, please do not text in the chat box. Okay. So we will take up your all the questions at last in face-to-face mode. So all these points, what I'm going to tell you, it is all my personal opinion and observations. Okay. So it does not have any kind of link with the any other content. So first thing you should understand that why people will read your research paper. For that, your research article should be interesting, right? It should be something like new they are going to get it, something new they are going to understand. And don't use a lot of technical words and all in your research paper. Okay. And please prepare with the topic with narrow range, and don't go and narrow range of source. Don't go with very wide range and all. And please see that the paper is excellent in the learned process, means it should be specialized one. Your paper should be very accurate. Okay. What exactly you want to do it? I will show you a few examples as well. What exactly the kind of title you can frame for your research paper. And I can really doubt if anybody says that within 1 hour I write my title of the research paper, which may not be possible actually. Okay. So what is happening, this as and when your work is getting over, this title will be reframed again and again. When before starting you may have fixed some title. After completion you find some better words for that. Please change it. There is no restrictions on it. Okay. Never ever use abbreviations when you are doing the research. Okay. And please use as much as few words when you are framing your topic. Okay. I'll give you some examples for it at in my next slide. Good title when you will talk, no? So based upon the moment I will read the title of your paper, I'll be able to predict, okay, this is what the content of the research paper may be. What and all I am going to get an input from your research paper. And quite obviously, your research paper should be interesting for a reader to understand, okay, this is what the author wanted to express or wanted to prove. And it should reflect the tone of the writing. So tone of the writing. So quite obviously here what happens many times is starting when we are writing, no, we will always write in the rough English. Later point of time, you please read as a third person. Okay. And there you just try to polish your wordings. It should contain important keywords that will make it easier to be located during a keyword search. So see, most of the time, no, your keywords actually, what we have understood, most of the people will do, whichever the during in the whole research paper, where and all we may have used some words repeatedly. Those kind of words generally we write in the research paper. But when you are searching the research paper, okay, and you are searching on the emotional stability of women, and if suppose if I put emotional stability, so your paper should be reflected there. For that I should use some words like emotional stability, woman. Okay, understanding. So always know from the title, what I have seen in the good research articles in the Scopus, on an average you all know that there will be 5 to 6 keywords, right? Always select 3 from the title and 3 from the introduction. Okay, then you, I think you will be getting the best keywords for your research paper. Okay, please see this research article as a title. Do regulations and governance quality impact performance of mutual MFIs in India, mutual fund institutions in India? Okay. Author of this paper was KP Saraswati Amma, Gopal Krishnan Kannan, and Lakshmi Parthasarthi. And this paper was published by IAMC Decision Journal. So please see the title, how simple words it is written, right? And they have shown also what is the area of scope. India is the scope. Which industry they are doing, mutual fund institutions they are doing, and what exactly they want to find. They want to find out whether there is any kind of impact of these regulations and governance quality policies, okay, with reference to performance of MFSIs. You can even see the second next title, Measuring Financial Inclusion, Asia Pacific Region. This paper is written by Dilip Ambarkane, Andru Shekhar Singh, and Bama Venkatramani. Okay, impact of, see this title, very simple, impact of GST. Say double quote, that is SME's stock returns. Very clear indication, right? So like this, you have to select your title. It should be very minimum and it should give the focus. Yes, this is what I am going to understand in this paper. Okay, and all these paper were the part of SCMS Journal of Indian Management, which is a part of SAGE. Okay, many times people will ask how to write an abstract. Okay, please understand, if you are writing a research paper for any kind of reputed journal, at that point of time you are going to write only one time abstract. But if you are writing a research paper for any conference, okay, at that point of time you are going to write two abstract. One, before submitting your full research paper, organizers may have requested you to submit the abstract, right? Means that abstract is something like plan of action. What exactly the work you are going to do, which topic it will be, what will be the sample size, okay, what kind of statistical tools you are going to use, and finally what you are going to conclude. It means expected outcome as well. So that and all is part of pre-abstract, means before even making the paper. Okay, and once your paper is ready, you are going to replace that pre-abstract with the original abstract. In original abstract, what and all you need to write, and what exactly this abstract is. It is basically a one paragraph summary which tells whole about your research paper. Many times people ask what to write there. So it always starts with the area on which you have done the research. You have to explain what exactly the problem, to why you have selected this topic. Okay, that is nothing but your research gap, or I can say problem to solve. Write only one objective or very highly correlated objective which is very close to your object, which your title. Please write what are the different types of methods or material you have used to complete this research, and even you can write about the some kind of results and implications. Okay, means what is the final outcome of this. You can even say about the consistency in the reporting part, and you can correct spellings, clarity of sentences and phrases. Okay, so here you cannot write long, you have to write very limited words, that is 200 to 250 words. That is why it is called as short summary. Okay, and quite obviously here, as I told, you need to go with the keywords. Okay, so these keywords can be selected, as I said, at least 2-3 from the title and 2-3 from the introduction. Then you will be having a, so that whenever tomorrow anybody searches the paper, your paper will be reflected there for them to refer it. Okay, next, this is somebody was asking, no, it is very difficult to publish the papers in the Scopus or SAGE or any reputed journal. So please understand, like each and every journal, they have got their own structure of the research paper. Few I will show you now, that is Indore Journal of Management. Okay, here if you will see, they will whatever the best paper you may have made, they were very specific about their format, about the structure. So in there, they will always find the people should write first introduction, evidences from the existing literature, scope of the study, objectives of the research, research design and approach, data analysis and interpretation, findings, major suggestions and conclusions, implications and directions for future research. Okay. And please see next. IIM Shillong Journal of Management Science. They say we want only 7 headings, boss. 1. Introduction, review of literature, gap areas, objectives of study, methodology of study, analysis and discussion, and conclusion. So they are not bothered about any other things. Next, IUP Journal of Applied Finance. They talk only about 5 headings: introduction, review of literature, data and methodology, result and analysis, conclusion. Now, somebody may ask, sir, where is objectives? So, as per them, your objectives, research methodology, and all everything will be a part of your introduction itself. Okay. So, you have to sometimes you have to refer their research articles and all, how exactly they are doing it. Okay. Again, under introduction, what and all you should write. So first thing, that is bring out importance of subject itself, make some kind of general statements. Don't try. So here you have to write like a visionary. Okay. Means something in very to the universe, to the population model. Defend the model. What exactly, if you have any model which you are going to prove, you have to defend. You have to tell the importance of that model. Okay. And you can even tell the provide the need of the study, why exactly you have selected this topic, why not some other topic, what is the justification of it, what is the significance of this topic. And along with that, in introduction, you can even write the objectives of the study if objectives of the study is not separately asked. Okay. So how exactly introduction need to be written? It should be written like a compiling the story book. Okay. So what people will like to read if it is in the something like a story format. Okay. So you can use some strong quotations as well when you are writing your introduction part of your research. Okay. And always have thought-provoking kind of questions. Okay. People, the moment they should read, they will have that zeal to go and continue reading in the next paragraph and followed on. Next, describe a puzzle scenario. Describe a puzzle scenario. So quite obviously, it is a kind of puzzle basically, right? So that you are going to make it in the different formats. You are going to show them in the different scenarios. Okay. Cite a string example, or even you can cite a case study that illustrates why the research problem is important. So basically, you are here trying to justify your title for the purpose for which you have selected this research article. Few of the quotes or your so-called I can say quotations can be like this: fraud is the daughter of greed. It is told by Jonathan Gash. Okay, the Great California Game. Distracted from distraction by distraction. Okay. Adventure is the life of commerce, but caution is the life of banking. It has told by Walter Bagot. Okay. Author of Lombard Street, a description of the money market. So what I mean to say, you can use this kind of quotes when you are writing introduction part. So introduction part, one thing, you need to give the background information about your area of research. You need to identify the research problems, and you need to ask what are the issues are there. And along with that, you need to consider the theoretical framework of your research. When you talk about again more in detail about the introduction, so it should clearly state what exactly the problem you are going to investigate, and how exactly the background, what kind of problems have been already taken care, and what is the reasons for conducting this research part. Okay. Summarize the relevant research to provide context. Okay. And state how your work is differs from the published work. So quite obviously here you have to do the bit of homework in the continuation of your writing the research gap basically. Okay. Then identify the questions you are answering. Okay. So you have to think in a active format, and then again you have to answer all those questions. So a reader will get some kind of interest to read your article. Okay. Explain what other findings, if any, you have, or if you are any other kind of challenging, if you are facing it. Briefly describe your experimental models, hypothesis, research questions, and general experiment design or the methods. Okay. Very much important is something like objectives. very much important is we call it as objectives. Okay, I assume that these are one second. These are the words which most of we may have used when we may have started writing the research paper. Okay, and please understand, in today's day you will not find these words at all in any good research article. The words, how you are going to, for these words also plays major role to understand whether really you have done the proper homework or not. Okay, the words which you can use while framing the objectives are always go something like to examine, to analyze, to determine, to explore, to evaluate, to assess, to estimate, to identify, to compare, to establish. Okay, please don't use words like to find, to study, to understand, to know, to explain, to suggest. Okay, these are very old fashioned words which we have ever used. What, and again, when you are using those words, there is some kind of implications are there which you need to identify. Okay, like when you will say examine, so what during examine, quite obviously you need to prove it with the need for. What exactly this implied for? Need for, reason for. Okay, analyze is nothing but what is the cause for that, what is the impact of it. Establishing, when you will use, so that time it will be talking about the creating any kind of patternship or any kind of relationship or associations. Okay, always use actionable words. Okay, and wording determine your research design. So based upon that you are going to define your research work. So next, going with more about the objectives as per the characteristics concerned. So always have very clear objective, what exactly you want to do it. Okay, whether you have that, whether have you collected the enough basic informations about your objectives. Okay, objectives here means about the variables, and what is the specific variable on which you are going to do the continue the research. So the moment you will find these three things, clear, complete, and specific, it comes under the descriptive studies because it is already available and you are just going for the analyzing model. Along with that, if you add identify the main variables to be correlated, what exactly you are going to correlate, which variable you are going to create a relationship, at that point of time it becomes a correlation studies. Okay, finally you need to add the identify the direction of the relationship. So quite obviously here, with the help of hypothesis testing, you will be able to get whether you are able to achieve the your uh, establishing relationship between the two variables. Okay, so hypothesis formulation, this we have already discussed. That is you have two things. One we say it is a null hypothesis, and another one we say it is a alternative hypothesis. Okay, next, methodology. So when you talk about methodology, so here it starts with the research design. Here it starts with the research design part, and you need to define your population and you need to define your sample size. Which sampling technique have you used? Which sampling technique have you used? There, so that you need to uh, write during your research methodology part. Then, what is the source of your data collection? Is it a primary data or is it a secondary data? Okay, then what is the different methods through which you have collected this data? What about the scaling procedure? Whether you have used Likert scale, whether you have used Thurston scale, or whether you have used dichotomous, whether your questions was open-ended or whether it was close-ended kind of questions. Okay, then what type of statistical tool or techniques have you used? What type of statistical tools and techniques have you used? Okay, then nowadays you may have seen that people are not preparing the tables, graphs or something and all. They will just give you the final value of hypothesis. That is also absolutely fine. It is all totally left to you how you want to present your results. Okay, so if you will follow the SPSS, it will give you the different put together, it will give you the different structure of presenting the data. And if you will talk about the SPSS, it will give you the different way. And if you will talk about the Excel, it will give you the totally different. All the outputs are same, but only presentation of data, it's totally left to you. Okay. So quite obviously, based upon the data analysis and all, you need to analyze, you need to discuss, okay, you need to identify what are the major findings you have to get, you need to write the figures, you need to write about the tables. For each figure and each table, you have to describe it with the table numbers, figure numbers and all, okay. And you have to describe each of your results as well, okay. And use past tense and put results in logical order, like whichever the demographic variable kind of content is there, it should come first, followed by some other content, okay. Do not present the same data more than once. So quite obviously, it is seen that people will try to duplicate the number of tables and all. It should not happen. Whatever the tables are there, you can write it once. And if you feel that some kind of correlation or some kind of continuity with between the tables, if it is there, that you can write it with the table number itself rather than displaying the sheets again and again. Okay, just 1 second. Okay, so do not present the same data again and again more than once. And conclusion is not about finally what says what comes in the as output part, okay. It is always something like what exactly you have understood your own research work. So finally, what is your personal opinion to write about that research paper? What is you have to summarize your all the thoughts, okay, and demonstrate it in the terms of presenting your own ideas, or I can say for proving that yes, your ideas were perfect. I can say significance or importance, okay. And the time person reads your conclusion, they should understand, okay, this is what you have identified after doing a lot of qualitative work, okay. You need to acknowledge the people who and all may have helped you either directly or indirectly. They may be your research friends, or they may be colleagues, and anyone in the format, okay. We have something like reference system, okay. So where you have to write about the name, when it who has written this paper, and which year you have taken. Generally we write in the review of literature. Then again we use the, always follow one model. Either you can write everything as per the so-called alphabetic order or numerical system model. Alphabetic model means like author-wise designation, okay? Like A, B, C, D, E, F, whosoever name starts from the first alphabetic, you have to write that. Number system is something like year-wise system. Whichever the recent year is there, that should come first. Whichever the late or old years are there, that should come later. Other one we have, that is again we called as a citation order system also we have. For that you can use the Zotero software for better understanding, okay. Then quite obviously for writing the citations, we have got different type of things. We have APA, which starts with social sciences, psychology, education, and we have MLA also, which most of the arts, humanities, and literature faculty uses. We have AMA, which will be used by medicine and health biological people and all. We have Chicago as well, which most of the books authors or newspaper people, they will be using it, okay. So any other doubts or anything you have, you can email to me, or else you can take down my number and you can just contact me at for any kind of clarification if you have on these topics, okay. And any other doubt, platform is open for all the participants to ask their any kind of doubts if they have. You can unmute yourself and you can ask it. If no doubt, then people can come online mode, and I can give you some target. If you are completing by tomorrow, maybe your paper will be ready by 7 to 8 days, not more than that.
Excuse me, sir, I have a
Yes,
doubt.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
The citation or references, what we have to give, what you have told, based on the alphabetic or numerical system.
Yes,
See,
ma'am.
in the review of literature, we are going to mention personally what I used to do. I'll
Yes, ma'am.
take the recent year first, and later I'll go with that. And in the review, sorry, in the references, I'll put it in the alphabetic wise. Whether it is correct or what, sir?
It is correct only, ma'am. It is correct. Nothing
Because while
wrong there.
writing the review of literature, what I will do means 2021 February, if any paper is published, I'll take that one as a first one. But
Yes,
while
ma'am.
giving the reference, if the person name is Ramachandra, or the reference will be go to the end. Whether that
That
is
is that is correct, ma'am. Ma'am, it is totally left to see, ma'am. In research paper, there is no one called as God, because here you can follow anything, whatever uh, you're supposed to follow it. Okay, ma'am. But in guide and thesis work, when we are doing it, it
huh.
is purely goes based upon the guide. Whatever guide says, they are the right. That's it.
Okay, 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 okay.
But model is right, ma'am. Review of literature. Generally, people will be expecting you should write the recent year first, and
Huh.
after that followed by old year, so that it will be better understanding. No, that is the reason. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay. So, Keshav sir, you want to ask something?
Yes, sir. What I
Yes.
wanted, what I wanted to ask, sir, when we want to do a new research, for
Yes,
example,
sir.
if I want to touch upon neuromarketing, and
Yes, sir.
there is a tremendous amount I collect from uh, the research papers, then
Yes, sir.
there are, do I pick up the points and explain it in the in the review, or can I take them separate points? How would the review be written? For example,
Okay.
there are 3 points.
Yes, sir.
That is the
Sir.
explanation, sir.
Okay. Sir, for writing the review of literature, it is always best you please see what is the research gap they have found in that particular research paper. Okay, sir. After that, please go to their research design. Quite obviously, they may have followed some kind of testing model and all. They may have used some statistical test and all. What type of test they have used? You please see. You can even refer what exactly the objectives of the paper is. Okay, sir. And after that, you can follow by like what exactly the conclusion part they have done. So what I mean to say here is that please do not have our own review of literature based upon the abstract of that paper. Always,
Correct.
always do the whole real analysis of doing the review of literature is this, like, है ना? And it is not many times what happens that we all are equipped with so many works, so we follow the shortcut method. That shortcut method is what happens, we read abstract and based upon abstract we will give our opinion. That is totally wrong model. And please never ever write the title as it is, otherwise you will get caught under the plagiarism. Because nowadays what I have attended very recently one interview, but I request all not to tell to my boss, otherwise it will be a problem. Okay. Nowadays, people will ask only one questions actually. What I am seeing, nobody is asking our qualifications, this, that, and all. How many publications do you have? How many are in Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4 journal? Now, my big question mark is how many people have the publication in first in Scopus? In Scopus, we have got Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. I can challenge there are so many people they are not aware about, but it is not their fault. We have to learn because now that is the demand, especially in private organizations. Now, when I send my research paper, there is one committee who will judge whether this paper is eligible to go out of the college boundary or not, because I have to use the college affiliation. So please do the right way of review literature. It is time processing, but I have seen that we have conducted many programs where in 10 days people can write one good research article within 10 days. I can challenge anyone. But for that, some kind of efforts are required. Now, all these papers and all, it is not a fashion. It is only a qualitative work. So, what I request everyone, please write one research article in 1 month you take. daily you create only 30 minutes, and in 30 minutes I can challenge within 20-25 days you will be able to prepare one good research article. Please go for free publication only, don't go for the paid and all. Okay, never ever go for paid is shortcut format. Shortcut or any kind of short term things will sustain only for short period. Always go for free, it is long term investment you will have, and you will be able to see people are recognizing your paper. Otherwise it should not become something like ayaram gayaram. So today you are submitting paper, the journal is there in the scopus, and after 5-6 months, and quite obviously people may have paid money, after 5-6 months you will find such kind of journals are not there. Now where will you go? And I will tell you, during my last 1.5 year I have zero publication, I have not done anything. But I will challenge you that in the next 2 months my number, what madam has said just now, 6, it is going to be at least 14 or 15, because I have submitted all my 2018 to 2019. I have submitted almost 7 of the research articles. All are in the Journal of Management, one of the Q1 journal under the Scopus. 6.95 is the impact factor, and it has taken 19 reviews for each and every paper, and it has taken almost 2 years of time. But I will challenge you, in the month of April, if I meet you somewhere, my data may have been changed and it may have crossed somewhere 20. And please go based upon the teamwork. Individually, we cannot do it. Best is you always create team based upon the different set of people. Our team, if it is again, how exactly it helps and all, every college will be going for NAC, NB and all those things, accreditation processes. Your college will ask how many publications you have. If I prepare my one research article by using my own colleagues and all, let us take our staff, total staffs are 15. So if 3 people also in team, we get only 5 research articles. Rather than that, create your team with the other people. No, let them work somewhere. They will be good in that. Somebody will be good in English, let them work on that. I will be good in data analysis, I will complete the data analysis part. So always create set of group of people from the different colleges. So and in your paper which you have started, you write your name author first, and mine you write it second, or your other friend you write it third. In my paper I will write mine first, your second, and third person as third author. So what is happening now, your numbers will increase. Finally everyone will ask what is the numbers. Nobody will ask where and what, especially in interviews, what I have seen. So that is how it goes, and we have to go with the trend, we can't change it. Okay sir.
Sir, thank you.
Thank
Great
you
analysis.
sir. Yes sir.
Audience,
Okay.
you have
Hello,
any
hello,
question?
Anyone
ma'am.
else?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay, able to hear my voice, ma'am.
yes, yes.
Ma'am, I am Bhargavi from SRM University.
Okay, you can ask a question to Bridget, sir.
Sir,
Yes
sir,
ma'am.
sir,
Yes ma'am.
sir, I am very new to this PhD. I am first year of the PhD, sir.
You are okay. Why you have selected to do the PhD, madam?
Because I need to, I want
Because
this
you
degree.
okay.
I want to
So object.
so 1 second, I want to become as an educationalist. So that's why I want to do my PhD.
Okay, ma'am. See, when you are going for your PhD work and all, okay. So related to your title, quite obviously in your PhD work, uh, please you can visit any of the IIM in any place. Okay, please refer their this one PhD report. I will challenge you, their PhD reports are not like our PhD reports. They
Yes, sir,
don't
I
follow
saw
that
that.
process at all. You know,
Yeah,
madam, how their process goes. They will frame 3 hypotheses, correct? And
yeah,
now guide will tell these are the name of the list, name of the journals, boss. You
yeah,
please publish 3 objectives you have, right? Each
yeah.
objective, one research
One and
article in any
yes,
of the journal. And those
okay,
journals, it is not a joke. So
yes, sir,
one journal will take 1.5 year. So if
yes,
really that is the qualitative work. So the same way I'm telling you, you may have frame your title now. The title, you break it in the different
So
formats. Yes, ma'am.
I already framed the title is already over, sir,
Objectives
because
are
I'm
framed.
doing, yeah, objectives are framed. My title is was EdTech. On the EdTech in
Um,
system management, I'm doing like that. What is the impacts
okay.
and prospects in EdTech I'm doing. So I
Okay.
want to create my one protocol also for app and website for
Yes,
that
ma'am.
one, because I'm doing system management in EdTech, sir, because I don't want HR marketing, because HR marketing I feel like bored, because I study lot of concepts in my MBA.
Ma'am, have you came across one topic called as human resource analytics?
No, sir.
That is a recent trend which is happening in HR, which most of the HR people itself doesn't know. So there is a lot and lot of things are there to learn in each and every area, ma'am. There is nothing like boring
But
and all. But maybe your area of interest is towards these computers and all. That is different logic. But
yeah.
many things are there. So based upon 14 questions, uh, recently we had one of the training for one of the company to identify how many number of people they may need in the next 6 months. So you may be surprised to know that within the 20 days of training, we got to know that almost 40% of the employees of that organization are going to leave. And recently, when we had the review meeting, we identified almost 30% has already left. So that is how psychology, HR, and so many things goes. So the topic is good. What I request you is only that whatever the objectives you have, right? For each
Yes,
objective, you please prepare one good research article that will add value in your PhD work. And tomorrow
okay.
it will add.
So maximum, I have one question. Maximum, how many objectives you have to keep it, sir? Because some of the good researcher means one objectives also they get a Nobel Prize also. I know
that is what I'm telling, ma'am. There is no, as it is not a Bhagavad Gita where only this many slokas will be there. Okay, it is totally left to you. Madam, it is totally your convincing power. If by one objective, if you are able to uh, prove many things, that is also fine. Otherwise, you can fix 4 or 5 objectives and you can go for proving each and every hypothesis or each and every objective. So it is totally left to you. No one is there to justify. And as you have started the PhD work, I just want to give one tip. Your guide is God. Nothing else.
Yeah, I saw this.
So whatever guide
Yes,
says,
sir.
please follow that. Don't do any change. I think as maybe next 3-4 years you will be awarded with the PhD also. Okay, ma'am.
Okay, sir.
Thank you,
Yes.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
If you have any question, kindly make it as a very crispy.
Ma'am, any feedback form is available? It's there, ma'am.
Ma'am, we are going to put it in the WhatsApp group. Feedback form. Okay. Any other participant, if you have any kind of questions, kindly make it a very short and crispy so that we can allow other participants to ask the question.
So good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma'am.
So this is Harshini calling from Chennai, sir. I am a research scholar, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, I am having a doubt, sir. Like, sir,
Yes,
I'm working in a private arts college and there is no research gate. Like, I am interested to put my article in research gate.
Okay.
So how it is possible, sir, when an organization is not having support?
No, see, ma'am, there is nothing to deal with the research gate and with the organizations. As far as you are planning for submitting the research articles, ma'am. Okay, that directly you can submit. But only a thing problem comes if you want to refer any research articles or something for your research papers. At that point of time, you need the different platforms. Okay, madam, if I'm not wrong, in Chennai we have NITTR. Correct?
Yes,
no?
Yes, sir.
They are sitting with all these your so-called they have the access for all the good journals, ma'am. And I think there is some kind of fees, 150 rupees per day, and you will be able to access all the resources in their library. So you can make use of it, and the same kind of features and facilities available in many of the IIMs and IITs also. They charge hardly 150 rupees per day, and you can go and you can visit, you can use the library facility and you can make use of it. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So that can be done. Yes.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, I'm Shobha. I am presently I'm working on a paper, sir, where I set 3 hypotheses. when I tested in SPSS, all 3 null hypothesis has been accepted. So now I got a suggestion that I should increase the sample size.
Yes,
Uh,
ma'am.
so
What was the sample size, ma'am?
It was 50, sir.
Very less, no, madam. Very, very less, I think.
So we'll, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Madam, what is the title?
It is that is awareness level of mobile wallet in the rural areas.
Okay. Ma'am, I think if you will take the sample size as minimum somewhere 250 to 300, you will get the fantastic results actually. And the possibility that, madam, if I'm not wrong, in your research, you have selected most of the females, right?
No, sir. It is
what is
male
the proportion, madam?
It is a use of mobile wallet in the rural.
No, that
so,
is
but
okay.
The proportion is less, sir. Proportion is less. Women uses. Yes, sir.
Because in rural, see, ma'am, again, you have to understand here who is your target respondent. Okay. So when you talk about the city and all, it is okay, means where gender equality is there. But I don't think so. In rural, we have got at this point of time also, we don't have that equality model at all. Most of the time, purchasing and all will be done by the male gender. Correct, no?
Yes,
so
yes,
rather than going for female, I think either children's or either the male will be the right respondent for your research work. Okay, maybe that may be the reason why right decisions are not coming. That's it, nothing else.
Okay, sir. So what I did is, time being, I dropped my hypothesis. So just went with a descriptive and other calculations. So I wanted a suggestion. So increasing the size may solve this problem.
Increasing the sample size will always resolve many of the things, ma'am.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So the moment you will increase the sample size, quite obviously your data quality will be better, ma'am. You can rely more on those data and the validity will be better. I doubt about the Cronbach alpha, what you may have got rise of now. On an average, anything more than 0.6 is good quality data what we see.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Anyone else who want to ask anything? Okay.
Sir,
yes,
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma'am. Ashwani, ma'am. Go ahead, ma'am.
Sir, actually, even I am a research scholar in Bangalore University.
Yes, ma'am. Which department, ma'am?
Commerce department, sir.
Okay, very good. So you will be having accessibility.
Sir, actually, my question was that I have used the Cochrane's formula.
Yes,
and I have derived the sample size because my population is unknown. So I have derived with 384 sample size.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But
perfectly done. Yes.
Few of my co-scholars were telling me to take higher samples. So
what your guide says, ma'am?
He is also telling me to take more numbers, sir.
No, but if based upon the
around 800 or 1000. Based on the formula, I am getting 384.
But then go ahead with the formula, ma'am. Nothing wrong.
If I take 800, will there be any
no, but how you will justify?
That's what, sir. Only I'm just asking you.
Not that is not the right way. Right way is always the
social science. Okay, sir. In the social science research, can I take 3% margin of error?
Why you want to take 3%? Actually, in social sciences, always we go with the 5%.
5%, yes, sir. 5% is the margin of error which I'm going to take.
Yes,
but
that is
there
fine.
Any chance of getting 3% margin of error?
No, ma'am, not possible at all.
Oh, okay, sir. Fine then. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Highly impossible.
Yes, sir. That's what even I thought. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Sir, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
The question, I think Bhavani Palmer, you want to ask a question to sir?
Yes, ma'am. It's Bhavani Palmer, ma'am. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, my research area is education policy. And
yes,
I am studying on a funding scheme for PhD scholars.
Okay, ma'am.
In that case, I have selected mixed method research क्योंकि मुझे डॉक्यूमेंट एनालिसिस भी करना है और साथ में मैंने जो स्कॉलर्स है उनका ओपिनियन भी लेना है, so I have chosen the mixed method research. उसमें
Yes, ma'am.
qualitative major, quantitative minor design select किया है. So sir, my
Okay,
question
ma'am.
is that कि आगे उसमें मुझे क्वालिटेटिव की रिसर्च मेथड अलग से मेंशन करनी होगी, क्वालिटेटिव की, और फिर क्वांटिटेटिव की अलग से मेथड मेंशन करके फिर उसको दोनों प्रोसीजर को फॉलो करके डेटा कलेक्शन करना होगा, या फिर मिक्स मेथड इटसेल्फ और डिजाइन की उसमें मुझे आगे कुछ मेथड लेने की जरूरत नहीं, इसमें मैं थोड़ा कंफ्यूजन है. कैन यू प्लीज हेल्प मी इन दिस?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, if I'm not wrong, you are from the education department.
Okay, sir.
Correct, no, ma'am? No, no. Is it am I in the right direction or not? I'm asking you whether you are from the education department or?
Yes, sir. Education.
Yes, yeah. Madam, in education department, what basically happens? You have to always have a mixed kind of data only. You cannot change it because you may have used the open-ended questions and as well as the closed-ended questions. So when you say it is a closed-ended questions, it always goes with the so-called quantitative analysis. Okay. And where you have used the open-ended questions, we always going with the qualitative analysis. If I'm not wrong, even you can think about the textual analysis. Okay, that will even help you for your research part. You can do both. You can use both the model, qualitative as well as quantitative model. And what I request you is that first you can show the quantitative analysis and followed by you can go ahead with the qualitative analysis. Okay, so but you need not to write separately that okay, this is the quantitative, this is the qualitative and all. First, simple normal structure, the way in which you have framed your questionnaires and you have collected the data, according to that you can go ahead. That is perfectly fine, nothing to worry about. Most of the education department faculty and research scholars, they have always used qualitative as well and even the quantitative kind of analysis. Both are perfectly done, no issues.
ओके सर, बट इन माय केस सर, मुझे जो ओपिनियंस लेने हैं स्टूडेंट से, जो क्लोज एंडेड क्वेश्चंस है, वो मुझे टेक्सचुअल एनालिसिस के बाद मिलने वाले हैं. सो आई हैव टू कलेक्ट द क्वालिटेटिव डेटा फर्स्ट एंड आफ्टर एनालाइजिंग इट मुझे दूसरा क्वेश्चन
better to go with the quantitative first, then you can go for the qualitative. Don't go vice versa. Because based upon the quantitative, what exactly their need, and based upon that, you please go with the qualitative. Then because you may have identified what is the exactly the problems or issues are. So first you collect the raw data, that is quantitative data, and then you please go for the qualitative data, ma'am.
Okay, sir.
Ma'am.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay. Now I will take a few queries which are there in the chat box. That is, please share the PPT. Okay, anyway, this is not my copyrighted and all. These observations and views, I will share it with the organizers within 2 or 3 days. Okay, so please do not keep on text them whether you have sent the PPTs or not and all those things. Okay, please wait. Because I need some time to send it to the organizers. So just give me 2-3 days time. Today is Thursday only, no? So by Sunday, I will make sure that it will reach to all of you. Okay. So, but till that time, please have patience, because researcher means they should have more and more patience. So please, it doesn't mean that keeps on text sir or madam or principal sir for sir, we did not receive PPT or in WhatsApp group or through individual. It takes some time from my end only. Okay. Then PDF of slides, if you presented in this lecture, it will be very useful. Spare PDF of slides. I will share, no issues at all. Best way for online surveys. You can always use the Google form, and for collecting the database, you can use the monkey.com. Okay, you will be able to get it. Then, hello sir, I am in the initial stage of my PhD. I am unable to get some topics for research. Please suggest me how to search a topic. Please never ever take anybody's topic, madam. Always select the topic which you feel, yes, it is right. Okay, always go based upon your area of interest. I will tell, okay, professor is from HR, so please do it on HR analytics. So that is not right way. So we have, this is your product, right? This is your designed product which you are going to complete. It may be research article, it may be case study, or it may be your PhD report. Always go based upon what you like, or something you will be liking, in any of the research topic or in any of the area of your education. Please select that topic. There is nothing like Bridges likes finance, so I will select finance. Okay, never ever do that. Don't take anybody's suggestion for selecting the topic. That is you who has to decide what good topic you can select. Okay, then what is else? Then okay, how to write a MLA format, that I can tell you. Any good tool for plagiarism? No, I know only one tool, that is Territin software, which will help you to identify from where and all you have copy pasted. But there is please don't use some kind of softwares like Bolt and all, which will change the meaning of your sentence itself. Okay, that is the worst part of the software, because software doesn't know. They will use Bolt software, will always use the synonymous words. Whether you are getting the real meaning of it or not, that becomes question mark. Okay, because it happens to last time one of my student has used the one word for ICICI, they have used G1. G1 is also life insurance policy, and that life became G1. So now in whole research report, wherever insurance was there, it is becomes life was there, it converted to G1. Okay, G1 is basically a Hindi word. So bold, that is how it attracts the words, English to Hindi and Hindi to English. So what happens? Plagiarism report 0%, because there is nothing called as ICICI G1 insurance policy, right? So what I mean to say is that please don't believe on the shortcuts. And I don't know how many people are aware about Territin software. Whenever you are using such kind of synonymous words, any sometime you will find some plagiarism, no, like 0% is not at all possible. Minimum 6 to 8% it will be there, because the numbers what you are using, it will be there in the Google. It will show as a plagiarism, nothing to worry about. Author name which you are writing as a review of literature, it will show as a plagiarism only. Year which you are writing, that is also part of plagiarism only. Okay, so nothing to worry about. You please write your own content. That is what I am telling. Increase your review of literature. If your review of literature is more, other things will get part of it, so it will not be caught under the plagiarism part. Regarding MLA, what I can do is that I request all the, if tomorrow after my session, what I will do in 20-25 minutes, I will be able to teach you hands-on experience. I can tell you on Mendeley desktop. Okay, I may have given the instructions how to download it and all. And from 8 p.m. onwards, you can just keep your laptops ready. But before that, what I request all the participant is that but before that, let us take advantage, rather than taking the attendance there, whoever is available, just raise the hand. Let us understand out of 99 people, how many are really active. So whoever is available, please raise the hand. Okay, so Yashoda madam is there, Bhagilakshmi madam is there, Hemavati madam, Pranitya madam, Stella madam, Pranati madam, Nokia 2 madam, madam sir, I don't know. Then SABS 43, Dr. John Prabhakaran sir. Okay, Dr. N. Uma madam from Malaysia. Okay, then, so okay, done. So I think many people are available online. So they are listening. Good to see that. So what I request all of you is that please sit with your laptop, charged laptop. And I may have given one of the, what exactly the instructions and all to the organizers. They may have texted you by tomorrow afternoon. So please do complete all the process. So tomorrow after my session, I will take up in 15-20 minutes how to get this MLA APA done within few seconds. For that, I request all the people to please download 30 research articles in any of the topic, whichever you like. Let us take HR analytics. Please download 30 research articles. If you want in recruitment, please download 30 research articles. Because for the, and please have PDF file. Please have PDF file of your research paper. And then I will teach you how to get this APA, MLA and all within few seconds, boss. Not more than that. For writing one, you may have invested at least half an hour. I will, for writing 30, I will teach you how to write it in 5 minutes. Not more than that. There is a software called as Mendeley Desktop. I may have given the all these steps. Please follow the same and at least install and sit in your laptop. So even tomorrow I will log in through my laptop, so that I will be able to show you how exactly best you can make use of the things and system. Okay, all these tools are handy actually. For this, you need not to buy anything. All are free softwares available. but only usage part we should be aware about. Okay. So any other queries or anything, if anybody have, you can ask me. I'm ready to tell. Sir, can you please tell about grammar? Okay, very good. How many people uses Google Drive effectively? Please raise the hand. Okay, I can see only Soumya madam, Hemavati madam. Okay, so same names again started. Remaining all where they are, no idea, because it is an online class. No, if it is offline, I may have catch hold of you. Okay, anyway, so what I request you is that in Google Drive we have something like Google Docs. Okay, please use Google Docs when you are typing your content, especially like review of literature, introduction part. Okay, why I'm telling you is that if you will follow those Google Docs, no, it will automatically by default it will tell you what is the right sentence, where you are doing the mistake. Okay, so please follow the Google Docs. My humble request to all of you. And don't have thinking that Google Docs is Google product. So whatever I will type there, it will be visible to all of it will become plagiarized data or something. Okay, Google Docs is only a platform where you can type your data, something like Word file. That's it. Okay, without your permission, till you are not going to publicize your data, it will be there in your Google Doc only. Please explain the setting of computers. Can you please tell me what is that setting of computers mean here? Because I don't know, because there are many settings in the computers. No, in thesis, is it better to write? 1 second, somebody is texting in chat box. In thesis, is it better to write reference chapter wise or last all the references can be included? Okay, depend upon the university. In VTU we don't follow the chapter wise, we follow the final at last. But if I'm not wrong, in Bharatiya University they emphasize that both the formats are acceptable. So again, it is depending upon the DC committee. Some people chapter wise, some people total. So quite obviously you may have created one folder called as PhD. Under PhD, you frame like, let us take 5 chapters, so 5 folders. For chapter 1, where and all you have used, which are the files, you please dump it on that. Chapter 2, which and all you have done, you can dump it on that. And by using the Mendeley desktop, you can get the references for all. So it will be easy for all of you. Then can I write article without objectives? You can. There is people need not to be surprised for that. You can, but for that you need to write the very strong review of literature. For that you need to write the very strong review of literature. But without objective writing a research paper, it is just something like a case study article. It will be. It will not be comes under the research article especially. Okay. So the output of this content, no, it can be many format that I'll be discussing tomorrow. Like this output can be your research article, it can be case study, it can be any newspaper article also. Okay, so the content what you are writing, in what directions you are writing, because if you will send it to any scopus says no, straightforwardly they will reject, because their mindset is very simple: objective, hypothesis, analysis. That's it. So if these things are not there, straightforwardly they will reject. And many times this conceptual paper no will not be accepted in the reputed journals. So that also you have to take care. Then few more questions somebody has asked. For thesis plagiarism report, do we have to give questionnaire for the test? Questionnaires becomes for the part of your annexures. So in Territin software, while running, what most of the universities will do, they will only do the plagiarism check only for the chapters, not for the bibliography, neither for the annexures. Okay. Sometimes the questions of our own researcher shows plagiarism. What do we have to do in that case? I have used synonymous to minimize plagiarism. Rather than that, I can tell you better thing is that whatever the review of literature you have done till now, you just multiply with the double and you do it. So because review of literature, you have to write it in your own wordings. So once you write in your own wordings, content will be more. So once the content is more, quite obviously your plagiarism part, your similar kind of text which you have used will be minimized. So that is one of the best way. That is why most of the good research articles you will find, a review of literature, they may have written more rather than data analysis, rather than some of the other things. Okay. Multiple regression can be used to analyze the relation between two variables. Otherwise, it is a predictor for variables. Absolutely fine, nothing wrong about it. But nowadays, I am not finding any paper where we are using the regression models, because nowadays it is everything is going about the MANOVA test or F test and all, or chi-square kind of test we are using it. Okay, then any other? Yes, ma'am.
Nothing, sir, because we are running out of short of time.
Yes, ma'am. Done, ma'am. Done, ma'am.
Sorry for interruption.
It's okay, ma'am. No issues.
As a researcher, one thing what I found means research is like an ocean. If we go deeper and depth, we'll find only in gems. So if
True,
you
ma'am.
want
No
any
doubt.
gems, definitely we have to go in depth, and we have to be prompt enough in our research, as per my knowledge, because I consider Birjay sir is my research guru too. So thank you so much, sir. You have given the outline of what exactly the research paper should be, and you have given a idea what the other journals requirement, because the paper what we are going to prepare, it will be in the one format only. So we never think that what the journal requirement. So that is one of the eye opener as a research scholar. So as I said earlier, research is like a ocean. So this ocean flow will continue even for many days, and we have to inculcate that kind of a spirit too. I thank British sir for handling the session, for taking the session, and sharing his knowledge and thoughts very effectively and meticulously. Thank you so much, sir, for sparing your precious time to give a lot of knowledge to our participants and us too. Thank you so much. And
Thank
I
you,
thank
ma'am.
Principal Professor Jairam sir. As I told you, he's a motivator to organize such kind of an event. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, madam.
And I also thank Dr. Manjula madam, HOD, Department of Commerce and Management, Sheshadripuram Academy of Business Studies, for her support to continue this program. And I also thank Reshma ma'am for all your support, and I thank all the organizers and my colleague. And I think this is my first time where all the 100 participants are there from 0 minute to till now. So because of that is a resource person effect, and we are going to organize the platform we are created for all the researchers. Thank you so much. Hope your enthusiasm will continue for all the 10 days, remaining days, and we'll share the knowledge, will make our country very strong by our research and innovation. Thank you so much. We'll meet you tomorrow.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir.
And
Thank you so much,
we are
sir.
going to upload,
Thank you, sir.
we are going to share the feedback form
Thank
in
you.
the WhatsApp group. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. So we are
Thank you
so
very
much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
yes, sir. We are going
Thank you,
to
sir. Thank you,
end
ma'am.
the meeting
Excellent.
now.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Pleasure. Many thanks to
It
all
was
the
like an
participants.
eye opener for all of us.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, ma'am. So we'll meet tomorrow with the same platform at the same time, and the same link will be continue for throughout all this remaining session too. Thank you so much.
Can we leave the meeting, ma'am?
Yeah, you can end the meeting.
I mean, no picture, right, today?
Ma'am, did you take
Yesterday you have taken a picture for
Ma'am,
attendance.
Soumya ma'am, did you take the photograph?
Yes, ma'am, I have taken before, what is that?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, fine. Okay.